YouTube, what is good, man? It is your boy, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy on the channel, where I jump into fashion and fragrance related content. So if you're into fashion and if you're into fragrance, if you're into one or you're into both, I hope you don't mind subscribing to the channel, man, and make sure you hit that little bell icon as well. That way, you know, anytime I upload new content on YouTube, maybe they'll notify you within the next 12 months. Okay, guys, I am trying something new today, man. I want to sit down at the desk and give you guys some content. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out, but there is this such thing called trial and error. And if this is an error, then we won't do this again. But I just wanted to try it out, you know, do something a little bit different and see how you guys like the new, not necessarily setting, but the way that I'm actually presenting the information today. So comment down below. Let me know if you like this. If we do, you know, maybe we'll try it again someday. Guys, I am enjoying a cup of coffee today in my nice polo mug. I think that dude is so dope, man. Like he's rocking that. I like the sweater. Yeah, shout out to the polo bear. Guys, the reason why I wanted to do it this way today is I'm going to give a little bit more of a relaxing, laid-back vibe today because of the subject matter. Today, I am going to be discussing 10 fragrances that I'm currently, I can't get enough of these fragrances. I'm obsessed with these 10 fragrances. Now, you're going to notice something about this particular list. These are fragrances that are newer to the collection, all right? So, I've learned over the course of time that fragrance is just like anything else in life, especially relationships. You know, after a while, it takes something a little bit more creative to get you going or something new, right? And so these are new acquisitions to the collection. And again, my taste, man, in fragrances have been, I wouldn't say they've changed per se, they've evolved, but there are just certain fragrances now that, you know, really inspire me, or fragrances that really stand out to me. And it's not the typical run-of-the-mill stuff. So anyway, I got 10 fragrances right here that I'm telling you, to me, are dynamite, knockout fragrances. I cannot get enough of these things. Maybe obsessed is a little bit far, but I don't know. I mean, I spend a lot of time smelling these fragrances, and I really am intrigued by all 10 of these. So that's what we're talking about today, man. 10 fragrances I'm currently obsessed with, or 10 fragrances I'm currently loving a lot, whatever you want to call it. After the intro, man, we'll come back and you'll see what I have on my list today. So if you want to see what I got, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Don't go nowhere unless you're going to get some coffee. Then you can go and come back.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. The first fragrance that I have in my hand, this is actually one that, you know, I've talked about before here on the channel. Now, this is a very expensive fragrance, but, you know, if you can sample it, sample it. But this one is from the house of Bottega Victorious, and it is this one. This is Valiant. Valiant, man. Just look at the gold plate on this bottle. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Presentation, I am a sucker for a nice presentation. The cap, again, is it worth the money? I mean, again, I've always said that value is in the pocket or the bank account of the beholder, but to me, this is absolutely worth it in my opinion. This is a floral fragrance that is creamy and sweet as well. So the dry, you're gonna get in the opening primarily this orange note. It's mandarin orange. You get some orange blossom. Then you have this neroli petitgrain combination, those floral notes that to me kind of cleans up a fragrance. You have those in here, and also the sweetness on the dry down. Tonka bean vanilla, and then the sandalwood provides that creamy nature to this particular composition. And I love this stuff. Again, 10 out of 10 easily in my personal opinion. I did tell you guys there is a comp fragrance that is very close to this, that is not as well, nowhere near as expensive as Valiant, and that is Vixir. by the house of Electimus. It's about 90-95% close to this one. But in the words of a very famous commercial from Coca-Cola, you cannot beat the real thing. So if you can, get your nose on this one, man. It's from the house of Bodicea Victorious. And again, this is called Valiant. All right, guys. Now, the next fragrance that I want to talk about, if I were putting these in order, although they are not in any particular order, this would probably be number one, to be honest with you. It's from a house that I just discovered called the House of Narcotica. And I am going to have a full review of this fragrance coming later on this week, so stay tuned for that. But this fragrance is called Doza. Doza. Doza Amber Intense, to be exact, and my God. You guys, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you guys know that I love the note or the accord of amber. I love it. And there is a lot of amber in this fragrance. There's tobacco in here as well. You have some spices going on here as well, some black currant. And on the dry down of the fragrance, you're gonna get actually a note of vanilla bean. And that vanilla bean is a little bit different from the typical vanilla note. It's a little bit more of a gourmand feel to it, a little nutty nuance to it. And that gives this fragrance, in addition to the amber, it's almost gourmand feel. So it's like a gourmand amber fragrance. Full review coming. Full review coming. I'm obsessed with this thing right here. It's from the house of Narcotica. Again, I'm not sure exactly how long the house has been around. I don't think it's been that long. But this, if you like what I like, and if you're not into the typical status quo right now, you know, the designer scents that kind of all smell alike, get your nose on this from the house of Narcotica. Again, this is called Dosa. All right, now I just did a full review on this fragrance about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, but I cannot get enough of this fragrance. It's from the house of Roger Parfums, and this is Parfums de la Nuit, number 2. The Seducer, which is actually the name coined, or the, I guess you would call it the pet name coined to this fragrance by Roger himself, and it is exactly that. It's a very seductive fragrance. It's very seductive, man. Again, you guys know how Roger fragrances are. There's a laundry list of notes in here. Just know that it is a very sexy, sultry, seductive fragrance. Primarily, you're going to get a really nice note of patchouli in this on the dry down. I love the patchouli in this fragrance, man, but it's kind of boozy. Of course, it's a little bit smoky. It's just sexy. All right, get your nose on it, fellas. It's from the house of Roger Parfums. This is Parfums de la Nuit, number 2. All right, now this next fragrance comes from a fragrance brand or house that I haven't talked about on the channel before, but this is probably one of the best from the brand. It's from the house of 4160 Tuesdays, and this is called Captured by Candlelight. Captured by Candlelight. Some of my favorite notes in this composition. You have some toffee, some beeswax, you have some a fruity accord in here as well, so it's kind of smoky, it's slightly sweet, again slightly boozy. This stuff is fantastic. Again, creativity here, man, and that's one of the things that for me right now is, you know, at the top of my list. When I can smell something that is not typical, when I haven't really smelled it before, I get really excited. I got really excited about Captured by Candlelight, so check it out. Again, it's from the house of 4160 Tuesdays, and this is called Captured by Candlelight. All right, now I did a full review of this one as well, so I won't spend much time on it, but it's fantastic. It's from the house of Mancera, and it is Tonka Cola. Tonka Cola. From hearing the name of this fragrance, I knew it was one that I actually absolutely had to put my nose on. I had to have it in the collection. Again, the name gives it away. Tonka Cola. There's this Coca-Cola vibe in here, so there's notes that are put together to comprise a Coca-Cola kind of accord in this fragrance. Obviously, you have tonka bean in here as well. Some booziness. It's a fantastic fragrance, man. You really got to put your nose on this stuff. So I'm really hoping they release this to the U.S. market. I did, I think, indicate where I got mine from when I actually got it. So, but man, check this one out, guys. Again, this is inspirational because it's so unique. It's such a unique scent DNA. I think you guys are really going to like this one. I do, for sure. It's from the house of Mancera, and again, this is called Tonka Cola. All right, guys, this next fragrance actually comes from the house of Electimus. And let me say this, quite a few of these fragrances that I've talked about today, I purchased from Crystal Fragrances. When I actually posted about Dosa on my Instagram account, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you head over there and do that. But I posted about Dosa on Instagram, and I shouted out Crystal Fragrances. I've been doing a lot of my shopping from Crystal Fragrances. I actually spent about over $1,000 on fragrances. That's my second order. My first order was the next fragrance that I'm going to talk about. But anyway, she actually was kind enough, once she found out who I was, to give my subscribers a discount. And the discount is going to be Bowtie 10 if you want to get 10% off of anything, any order over $50. And then Bowtie 20 off of select brands. From what she told me, certain brands won't allow her to discount them as much. So try Bowtie 10 or Bowtie 20 and save yourself some money if you want to shop at Crystal Fragrances. But this is the first fragrance that I purchased from Crystal Fragrances, and it's from the House of Electimus, and this one is called Amber Aqualaria. Amber Aqualaria from the House of Electimus. Man, let me tell you, this thing has cognac in it. It has rose and oud, and of course ambergris in this fragrance, and it's just dynamite. You guys know that is one of my favorite notes of all time, and that is the note of course, the accord of amber. You have some vanilla in this as well. But guys, this is just, we talk about amber fragrances, and I have quite a few of them in my collection. This definitely moved into my top 10. I mean, look at the presentation on it. This is just everything that I love in a fragrance. You have some booze there, you have some rose, you have some oud. Get your nose on it, man. It's from the House of Electimus. Again, this is called Amber Aqualaria. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, I am definitely 100%, 1000% obsessed with this fragrance. It's from the House of Scent of Woods, and this one is called Plum and Cognac. Plum and Cognac, and as the name indicates, you are going to get a lot of plum, a lot of booze from cognac. Vanilla. This thing is absolutely amazing. You know, they sent some samples a long time ago when this brand first opened up. They did not send this one, and I wish they had, because this is a dynamite fragrance. If I were ranking these fragrances, this would probably be a close second, number 2, behind Dosa. I'm blown away by how good this fragrance is. Check it out, man. I'm currently obsessed with it. If you love boozy fragrances, there's some cinnamon in here too. I almost forgot about that. But if you love boozy fragrances, I think you're going to love this stuff right here. It's from the House of Scents of Woods. And again, this one is called Plum in Cognac. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list actually comes from the House of Bodicea Victorious as well. And this one is called, of course, Blue Sapphire. I got to do a full review on this fragrance because it deserves a full review. It is not your typical rose fragrance, and I will say that. And you guys know I love rose. I would say amber, rose, patchouli, tonka bean, cinnamon, tobacco would probably be my 6 most favorite notes. And this has moved into my top 3 for sure. Rose fragrances in my collection. The only fragrance in my collection that is rose based that still rivals this one would probably be, of course, Portrait of a Lady. And you know how much I love that one. But guys, amazing candied citruses and florals in this with rose. Just check it out. Listen, I know it's expensive. Trust me, I know it's expensive, but if you can get a sample, sample it. If you like rose fragrances, I think you'd be blown away by it, because I surely have been. It's from the House of Bodicea Victorious. Again, this is called Blue Sapphire. All right, guys, and this next fragrance actually floored me when I smelled it. It is from the House of Amouage, and this is Reflection 45. Reflection 45. And the best way to describe this one, if you put a little bit of dirty sexiness into the original Reflection, man, that's exactly what this is. I love the bottle. You got that psychedelic look to it, just like Portrayal Man. I think it is from this brand. I think it's well worth the price of admission on this one. Oh my gosh. To me, already a very versatile scent DNA Reflection, man. This made it even more versatile. You definitely could get away with wearing this year round without question. And again, I can't say enough about how the enhancement, making this a little bit more deep, And the way they're able to pull that off and still keep the integrity of the original scent, voila. This is a masterfully done fragrance. It's from the house of Amouage. Again, this is called Reflection 45. All right, guys, and last but not least, another fragrance that's from the house of Bodicea Victorious. This one is called Amber Sapphire. Amber Sapphire, and this is a Grail amber fragrance. Now, for me, this has moved into my top 3 amber fragrances, and that's saying a lot because I probably have about 25 amber dominant fragrances in my collection, and I really like all of them. So to say that this is in the top 2 or 3 is definitely saying something, but easily in the top 2 or 3. This stuff is absolutely dynamite. I don't really have words for it. If you can get a sample, sample it. I'm sure if you like amber, you'll love this stuff. It's from the house of Bodicea Victorious, and again, this is called Amber Sapphire. But guys, that's it, man. That's my time, man. Those are 10 fragrances that I seriously right now am really obsessing over. Like, I can't get enough of smelling these things, grabbing them, putting them to my nose just to get a whiff of them, spraying them on my skin at random when I'm just sitting around, really taking time to understand these fragrances and getting better acquainted with them. I love these 10. I really love these 10. But what are some fragrances you have right now that you're obsessed with? Maybe obsessed is a strong word, but you get what I'm saying. Fragrances you're really, really digging right now. What are some of those fragrances for you guys? I would love to hear, what fragrances you have that fit into this category down in the comment section. But that is it, guys. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today as I gave you 10 fragrances I'm currently loving, I'm currently obsessed with. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys' attention to these videos. Of course, I know you don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you are sharing these videos out to some other folks out there that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. I'm your main man, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.